Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome along to round 11 of the Business Plaza Cup. This afternoon, Lakes United are up against competition ladder leaders, the Western Suburbs Rosellas. And of course, our match this afternoon will be officiated by Tom Taylor. Lakes United Seagulls, well, currently they're sitting 4th place on the competition ladder. They've played 10, they've won 5, and they've lost 5. While Western Suburbs, they have not lost a match since round 4 when they went down to Macquarie by 18 points to 14. That was a long time ago, wasn't it? Back in round 4 of the Business Plaza Cup. Western Suburbs, as I mentioned, 1st place on the competition ladder. The red-hot favourites to take out the 2017 Newcastle Tooheys Cup. They've played 9, they've won 8, and as I mentioned before, they've only lost 1 match, and that was to Macquarie by 18 points to 14. For the Lakes United Seagulls, there's plenty of changes to their squad to take to the field today. I'll go through their side now. At fullback is Jamie Gilmire. Debuting on the wings for the Seagulls is Ben Hibbert. In number 3 is Matt Craig. Cal Guest is in to replace McClintock in 5. Kyle Kennedy will go into the centres. The 6 and 7 remains the same. Jay Sullivan and Jake Kelly. The back rowers of Sean Boss, Chris Adams, Nick Glowey, Chris Randall, Jared Holmgreen, also making his debut for the Seagulls in jersey number 12 this afternoon. And locking the scrum for the Seagulls is Casey Burgess. Interchange looks this way of Kobe Robbins, Josh Hayes, Ben Tupou and Chance Burgess. So no Jacob Garguide today. Big loss for the Seagulls. Had an outstanding match last week when they put the sword through the Central Newcastle Butcher boys. And no doubt he has been a standout performer for Lakes United in the last 3 or 4 weeks. So they'll do it tough today without Jacob Garguide. They've also lost McClintock, as I mentioned, and no Callum Guest as well. So they're a little bit down on strike power as far as the back line goes, the Seagulls. The Western Suburbs Rosellas, well, they're through the entire program unchanged. Let's go through their side at the moment. Brad Tyers at fullback. On the wings as Willis Alatini and also Callan Richardson. Utah and Simon Williams in 3 and 4. Ryan Walker, that's where all the strength lies, outside of his partner with Sam Keenan in 7. Mark Tafua, the captain, will be in jersey number 8. Alongside of him will be Redmond, Baker, Peter Mannion in his 12th year at Western Suburbs, going around in jersey 11. Alongside him is Ben Stone and Warren Shillings. Hard as a rock, always Warren Shillings. Interchange for the Rosellas this afternoon is Matt Herman, James Elias, Jade Porter. He finds himself in jersey number 19 on the change bench, along with Ryan Petro. And of course, they're coached by first-year coach at the Rosellas in Matt Lantry. We'll go through a few of the other results already been played in the Newcastle Rugby League this week, and the majority of the games are, of course, on here today. In yesterday's game, Cessnock came from 16 points to 6 down to overcome the Curry Bulldogs in the end by 27 points to 22. Fantastic victory by them in the Coalfield battle. Earlier today, we saw the Ladies League tag, and Western Suburbs, they ran out victorious by 16 points to 8 over Lakes United. In the under-19s, Lakes too good for West by a margin of 42 points, 48 points to 6. And we've just seen reserve grade go past, and Western Suburbs too good for Lakes in that grade as well by a margin of 36 points to 12. In the National Rugby League today, we've got the Newcastle Knights taking on the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. Back at Belmore, that game will get underway at 4 o'clock. So we'll have updates in that match as well as other matches in the Newcastle Rugby League throughout the next couple of hours when we're on the live stream. So here comes the home side, of course, led out, of course, by their captain. And who else to lead them out in his second game back today after returning last week successfully from a wrist injury. The number 9, the leader, the go-to man, the man that gets this side going forward. And haven't they missed him? Chris Adams. Of course, Chris Adams got the man of the match last week. Let's see what he can produce in the next 80 minutes here today. Players to look out for, well, Matt Craig. We know that he can produce absolute phenomenal form out wide. He's got blistering pace. but been really impressed with Jamie Gilmore. They've covered Lakes now for probably 3 or 4 weeks in a row. And Jamie Gilmore, their fullback, has been in instrumental form. He's quick, he's talented, he's speedy, and every fullback needs a player like Jamie Gilmore, and the Seagulls luckily got him today. Likewise for the Rosellas, well, they've got a very speedy backline, haven't they? The likes of Brad Tite, plenty of National Rugby League experience. He's brought all that experience down from the Gold Coast Titans, and this is his second year in the green and whites. Mark Tafua, well, he's a very proud Samoan. He's a top captain. He's got a top smile, and he's a top prop. That's for sure, Mark Tafua. You've got to remember that Mark Tafua, a great local story, he played Union back for Mayfield Easts when he was 17 years of age. He went on to represent Waratah in the local competition. He then went across to rugby league. He wanted to have a crack. He represented the Newcastle Knights. Then he played for his home nation in Samoa. And then he went down to the Cronulla Sharks, played NRL for a number of seasons down there with the Sharkies. And now he's played 50-plus games for Western Suburbs in the Business Plaza Cup, thanks to Tui. So this is Sunday afternoon football. This is round 11. Lakes running left to right. It is 4 versus 1. The home side sitting 4th currently on the Business Plaza Cup competition ladder. And Western Suburbs Rosellas will have the first opportunity to take it forward with the man that we've spoken high of throughout the last 4 years of live streaming the Newcastle Rugby League. And of course that was Mark Tafua. Every time Mark Tafua leads from the pack, not very far behind is Peter Mannion. And he got the ball out the wide, now to Keenan. And they take it to the halfway line here. So first set of 6 here on Sunday afternoon rugby league. This is round 11. Lakes United up against competition leaders, Western Suburbs Rosellas. They've averaged 34 points coming into this match. The Rosellas, they've only conceded 14 points against them. So the Seagulls on home soil. First touch for them here this afternoon. We just spoke about their fullback in Jamie Gilmore. Well, there he is there. Him and that man there, Adams, along with Casey Burgess, has got the football today. That could be the key 3 if the Seagulls are to cause an upset here on Sunday afternoon football. This is Sean Boss. He picked up our Bar TV Sports Man of the Match award last week. Now this is Nick Glowey. He runs straight and hard to the 40-metre line here. Glorious afternoon for football. Inside the 40 goes the kick off the boot of Kelly. And this kick has got too much on it. And it goes sailing out on the full. So not the perfect end to the first set of 6 here for the home side. They're going to be playing the football, the opposition, through Mark Tafua, 40 metres out from the Seagulls goal line. As I mentioned, Seagulls coming off a solid victory last week against Central Newcastle by 32 points to 12. For Western Suburbs, well, they haven't gone down since round 4 of the competition. And they're starting this game at 100 miles an hour. This is Bradley Tye. He's lost the football. Referee in Tom Taylor saying that it was played at, so tackle count has been restarted as Walker goes the short side. He's brought down only 8 metres out from the home side goal line. They work it to the right-hand side. They cut out one to find Tye. He gives it away to Shillings. And Shillings has taken the tackle. Only 5 metres out. 3 minutes gone here on Sunday afternoon rugby league as Redmond. He tries to bust them wide open. So Walker is on the left. If they choose to go to him, they go the other way. They cut out to Fua to give it back to Bradley Tye. He goes himself looking for Walker now. He puts the foot to the accelerator before linking up with Keenan. There's an overlap out wide. Williams goes himself and Williams reaches out and scores the first try off the back of Lakes United error, which saw them kicking out on the full on the last tackle. Well, that certainly gave the Rosellas a sniff. And after only 4 minutes, it's the opposition over the home side. through Simon Williams by 4 points to 0 here on the Bar TV Sports Goal Line. And David Dryden's back in the commentary box. Good afternoon to you, Dave. Good to see you. Where have you been?
Mate, I was playing just downstairs, having a quick shower to come up and help you out.
Fantastic, mate.
Yeah.
Good win too?
Mate, it was. We were struggling a little bit at the start of the year, and we're just starting to hit our strap. So Lakes were ahead. I think they're about 4 or 5 points, maybe 6 points above us on the ladder, and they're first. So it was good to knock off the leaders at home too.
Mate, I was feeling a bit lonely last week as well. Good to have you back.
Yeah, mate, I was a bit crook last week. Sorry about that.
Good to have you back, and your boys certainly shining in the first 4 minutes here on Sunday Rugby League. How did you pull up? First game back in a number of weeks?
Oh, mate, the legs weren't too bad. It was the lungs. The lungs were a bit sore. That was a short, sharp stint. So, no, it was good, mate. It was good to be back out there and amongst it with all the boys. So, all the Reggie's boys listening. Well done.
So, Sam Keenan from right out on the eastern touch line. He knows how to strike them from all over the park, but this time the wind's just got underneath the kick there. And unsuccessful with the conversion, but a frenetic start to the Western Suburbs home side, the away side, I should, mate. They're in tip-top form, the Rosellas. As we said there, Dave, you guys haven't lost a match since round 4 going down to Macquarie, and that was a long time ago.
Yeah, no, the boys, first-grade boys are really hitting their straps and starting to play some good footy, and I think there's not many injured players in the shed, so yeah, no, we're all starting to, the whole club's starting to fire, which is good.
The tune of the coverage has been a few late scratchings for the Seagulls. Guest is out, no McClintock, and also Jacob Gagai. He could be out for a number of weeks. They're saying 4 or 5 weeks with a hamstring injury. So that's no good for the home side.
No, it's a big blow, isn't it? He was really firing, and saw the highlights last week. He looked really fast.
He's been in blistering form over the last 4 weeks of the Business Bar Plaza Cup. As Sam Keenan is going to go high, but Carl Guest makes it look simple, coming in off the wing and takes the ball right on their own 20-metre line. A man that's really shined too over the last few weeks for the Seagulls is this man in Jamie Gilmire.
Yeah, he's a talent, isn't he? Massive raps on young Jimmy. He's got a big future, I reckon, in this league or at a higher level.
Matt Craig, he never disappoints as well, and Adams really got them going forward, as you'd expect, week in, week out, when he's in jersey number 9 last week. Had a blockbuster game against Central. Good win too.
Did he rattle some ribs last week, Pete?
He rattled a few ribs. Let's see if he can rattle a few more today, Dave. Ties underneath this one. He's lost it.
I thought that was a bit unlucky. Was that back? I thought that might have been a bit back. Looked like he was facing towards his own try line.
We're about to have a look at the replay here. Well, he had the right idea, Ty, to attack the ball. Looked like it went sideways. Not sure if he could get away with it. And he hasn't. Our referee this afternoon is Tom Taylor. So Sullivan giving it away to Adams to dish it out wider. This is Kyle Kennedy.
Our mate in the yellow shirt's back out there, Pete. Lakes have got 14 players on again.
He's your bestie. There's another penalty coming up to the home side. The crowd, well, I'd say about 800 in here this afternoon as Glowy takes it forward. You might be able to knock 600 off that.
They love Sunday football out here, Lakes.
As Kelly goes himself. It's only a metre out from the goal line. Adams lurking in a dummy half, finds Sullivan, and we know he can run. Demonstrated that perfectly against the Butcher Boys this time last week here. Adams. You might find him going for a little bit more from dummy half. He He got them going forward last week, but before he came back from injury, he used to do the Luke Prittis burrow. Hasn't done much of that since he's been back. He was telling me too, he's got a new guard for his wrist, specially made here in the Hunter, and he's pretty happy with his efforts there. He's wrapped, actually.
Yeah, well, you need to protect them small little bones in your wrist, so I'm sure he's worried about that. It's good that he's got it protected.
For tonight's after-match presentation from 6 p.m. The Belmont Sporties, proud to be the major sponsor of the Lakes United Seagulls.
Well, it's a vital part of the body, especially when you're playing rugby league. You can't be without your wrist, can you, Dave?
No, mate, you can't. It's prevention from passing, tackling, anything really, Pete.
This is Peter Mannion.
I noticed last week, Pete, he's got a new sponsor, man of the match. It's
we've got a tattooed place.
Yeah,
mate.
tattooed parlour.
Yeah.
Do you give out man of the match awards for reserve grade? I think I need to finish off this arm.
I was going to say, where would you want? Where can we stick it?
Yeah, just on the right arm. It's been about 10 years in making, so could do with that.
What would you like?
I don't know, just to fill it in.
Bit of colour.
Yeah, a bit of colour, something.
Yeah.
But what's that? Romans 8.
Romans 8.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
I think that's Raf. I think Raf owns that.
Yeah.
But we've got. I went in there too. We've got 2285 Barbershop as well. But instead of the man of the match, they're going to be the moment of the match.
The moment of the match.
The moment of the match.
I like that.
Yeah.
There's plenty of moments.
Yeah, so they've been on board since the start of the year. And, so they've just changed to moment of the match. So whether it's a falcon, a crappy knock-on or a good try, flick past something. So we'll keep our eye out for the moment of the match. That's 2285 Barbershop.
2285. All right. So we're looking for moments here in the Newcastle Rugby League. David Dryden. He's got the eye of the moment. Have you seen any moments so far?
No, not yet. I'm waiting for a nice clean shot or a flick pass, cut out pass.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you, what is your definition of moments?
Oh, well, a moment would be something like the great Billy Slater chip chase moment.
Yeah, from about 40 out, regain, chipped again.
So that'd be good. I'm expecting, young Jimmy to do something like that, or maybe a chip and chase from Ryan Walker.
Yes.
So
what about that? Is that a moment?
Yes, that's what I want. Mao, great shot. He's in the lead.
Glowy. That was the moment of the match so far.
100%. That's it.
Especially in defence. As Gilmire. Half a moment there. We'll have to have a moment's calculator, Dave.
Yep. I'm expecting my good mate, number 13, Warren Shillings, to pull off something like that. A nice big shot.
With the best pass from Adams, finding Sullivan. Gilmire steps off the right. Last tackle now for the home side as Matt Craig sends it to Sullivan. Awkward bounce for West Ira. Nearly proved pivotal for the home side, but it's gone over the dead ball line. We're going to have a goal line dropout.
Yeah, that was unlucky. It was a good nudge and favoured Lakes with the bounce. And if they had scored there, Pete, that could have been a moment of the match. That could have been a contender as well, but didn't come off.
Can we have a crowd moment too? Can we extend it to the crowd?
Yeah, we sure can. If anyone can reach a message, if anyone wants to throw something at this little touch judge in front of us, that'll get you a free barbershop groups, a free barbershop certificate. So he's got a country jersey, country jumper on.
Well, there's plethora of local sport going around today, and it's half time at Magic Park. And Broadmeadow Magic, they're leading the Lambton Jaffers by 1-0.
Oh, that's a shot. The Jaffers have got a stacked side, don't they? The old Griffiths boys. And yeah. Got a mate plays soccer for the Magic, Boneyard man, Mr. Josh Piddington.
Yeah, so 1-0 to Magic at half time in the NPL. Back here we've had 14 minutes of the Newcastle Tooheys Cup. And Lakes, they have been attacking pretty much the last 5 minutes. Let's see if they can come down here and turn it into points as Glowhey finds himself on the last tackle. So Adams back away to Kelly. Kelly dribbles it in the in-goal area. Gilmire coming through. Oh, Tom was on the spot and says no try. Back out to the 20.
Yeah, unlucky. Unlucky there from the fullback, Jamie. Unlucky there, mate. It was nearly pulled it off. Would have been another contender for our moment of the match.
And of course, in our other games today, we've got the Macquarie Scorpions taking on South Newcastle. We'll have scores throughout that match as they come to hand too. And don't forget the National Rugby League at 4 o'clock. The Newcastle Knights taking on the Canterbury Bankstown Bulldogs. That'll be at Belmore.
That'll be an interesting game, the South and Macquarie. I wonder how Coach Bettridge would be received out at Townsend Oval. I don't know if he if the club's recovered from him doing a Wayne Bennett at South. He pretty much cleaned it out with his, and that's not the players. He didn't pay all the players. He just took it all himself. So yeah, I wonder how he's received out there at Townsend Oval on a Sunday arvo.
How are you, Adam? No doubt you'll be in contact with us after that.
Yeah, the big soy, they call him out.
So
at
what
Toronto.
are you implying, Dave, that he went to South, wrecked the joint and left?
Yeah, pretty much. That's the word from Townsend Oval. I don't know. They're just starting to call him Adam Bennett, apparently. So, look, he's a great mate of mine. So, you know, I would never start this sort of rumour, but yeah, that's just the whispers around. You know, they've got to be all offside.
Lucky Bradley Ty's there to collect the ball, and he's got footwork, but he can't get past the 40.
That cricket pitch out there, Pete, they need to do some water. They're short of water out at Lakes.
You'd think there'd be some sort of pipe that connects the ground with the ocean.
Oh, mate, that'd have to be. That is torture out there.
What are we, about 50 metres away from the sea?
Yeah, it wouldn't be far.
Here's your mate. He's a top captain, he's a top smiler, and he's a top prop, and he's a proud Samoan.
Yep. Oh, Mark. Marky Mark.
So Mannion. He's played in 4 grand finals for Wests. What was it, 2008, 12, 13, 14? Hello. Welcome to the Plaza Cup.
Yep. There we go. I said there was a moment. I asked for a moment from my mate, and there's a bit of a push and shove, so we've got another contender there. I don't think that's the person you would really be wanting to upset. He's a fiery character, and yeah, doesn't take a back step from anyone.
Of course, we're talking about Warren Shillings on Casey Burgess there.
I don't think Casey Burgess would take a back step from anyone either. He's a tough character himself.
What can you tell us about good old Shillo, mate?
Oh, what do you want to know?
We want to know everything.
Oh, everything.
I can't lay the dirt.
We'll leave some dirt out, mate. He's one of my best mates. Oh, he's been sent for 10.
Sinbin Shillings is off for 10 minutes. 2 weeks in a row, we've seen Sinbinnings here at Belmont. And Tafua goes over to ask the question. So Warren Shillings is down and about to come off to the cheers of the crowd.
That will only fire him up, Pete. So he'll come back with 10 minutes to go and watch the energy he brings. He'll love that. It's one thing that you can say about Wowes is he plays with a lot of heart, a lot of passion. And he's not your modern day footballer. If he, like what you just seen in the footage before, if he doesn't like something or he's not happy with something, he'll express it on the field as well. So, yeah.
What do you think we going through his mind right now as he's sitting in the dressing sheds, just saying, "Oh, I can't wait to get back out there and rip them in."
Yeah, mate, he will. He'll be in there. He'll be. He'll calm himself down a little bit, and then when he comes back out, he'll make sure he makes up for letting the boys down a bit. But yeah, he'll try to put his energy in the right areas, I guess.
So Gilmire giving it away now to Kennedy. So Matt Craig is right out here on the western touchline. If they can spin it out this way to Cal Guest and Kennedy, there could be a chance, but they angle it into the in-goal area. They'll let this go. You've got to let this go. It's gone all the way into the foyer of Belmont Sporties. So it's been a fast 20 minutes. We're 20 minutes down already, and it's 4-0. Western Suburbs were able to score the first try in the 4th minute of the match to Simon Williams. And you've got to say, this game has had pretty much everything since then.
Yeah, mate, it has. It seems to be a back and forth sort of battle there. We haven't really seen that many mistakes besides like the 1 or 2 from West the last couple of minutes. But yeah, it seems to be a good arm wrestle. Lakes are staying in it with their youth and energy, but we see Mr. Samurai, Woody Baker, take his first hit up after coming off the bench, so he might try to bring some energy for the Bird Gang.
The Bird Gang in 2017 under the guidance of Matt Lantry, former reserve grade coach at the Newcastle Knights, also first grade coach at Central. So Gilmire puts the shoulder there straight into Baker. Matt Craig winds himself up and charges into Mannion.
That's a tough carry from the winger, centre, into 3 big boys. That's a great carry.
Coming forward now to Chris Randall. Now Chris Adams. He's been driven down from the shoulder of Ben Stone. So 40 out, Kelly going high to the air. Pressure catch, lost it. Chance again now for the home side. They're going to get the ball back through the scrum and go on the attack. Dave Dryden, 20 metres out.
Yeah, that was a massive bomb. He's got a good boot on him.
I mean, it's a bit breezy here today. What was it like when you were out there?
Yeah, mate, you feel the breeze. It's, I think the way Lakes are running, they've got the wind. But yeah, no, it's pretty breezy down there. You don't really feel it up here.
All time in reserve grade 2, Dave. A win to the Macquarie Scorpions over Souths by 30 points to 20.
Oh, that's a shock.
Western Suburbs 36, Lakes 12 in your match, and Maitland too good for Central by 34 points to 10. Nice tackle around the legs there from Gilmire. Quick play the ball. Comes back then out of Sullivan. Glowhy inside the 10. 18 minutes out from half-time. Only trailing by 4, Lakes. They'll be happy with their efforts here. This is Kyle Kennedy. Not going far.
Comes big Benny Tupou coming for his first stint. Watch plenty of energy from Benny. He's got good leg speed.
Sean Boss has just lost the ball, our man of the match from last week. I wonder if he's been to the ink joint.
Yeah, he looks like a clean skin, Bossy.
Any advice for him? As far as tattoos go?
Oh.
What would you like to see on a clean skin? Maybe a little butterfly or...
Oh, I don't know, mate. Just
You
depends
start
what
small?
someone's like. Yeah, I started just with my last name, and then I have me oldest boys tattooed on me arm.
Yeah.
But yeah, something personal, or some artwork. A lot of people like the koi fish and stuff like that. But I know what Bossy's like. He might get a seagull.
With a big flapping wing.
He might get a seagull.
I wonder where he could put it.
Bicep.
That's the place?
Yeah.
Yeah, good choice. Good choice. Good choice here for Western Suburbs to run it forward and straight through Utah. What's he like around the club?
Hey, he's good. He's young. He's always got a smile on his face. Plenty of energy. Loves a laugh. We see the freak, Jay Porter, number 19's on the field. Like to see some black magic from Ports. The freak, get the back. I'm banking on some 2-2-8-5 magic moment coming from Ports.
Keenan. This ball could bounce dangerously for the Seagulls. It does. Comes back to Walker. Last tackle. He takes them on. He's through. He'll score. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Walker.
It's just all strength, wasn't it, Pete? It didn't look like there was much on, but he's got a strong fend and he's a strong ball runner, and it just showed there as he went through a few Lakes players. So his missus won't be happy about that. They've got a little competition on the they've got a competition going with who scores the most tries. So Sarah will be filthy. Ryan will be happy.
I'll get back to that. Let's just have a look at the replay. I'd like to know what the competition is and if there's a prize at the end of the day. Here's Walker here, Dave, just going straight through, untouched. So yeah, so there's a little bit of a competition going on. Hey?
Yeah. So Sarah's in our league tag team.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of banner.
Is there?
Yeah, she reckons if you calculate the time on the field and the tries, she's ahead because Ryan plays 80 minutes. He's on all the time. She play. I think the girls might play 30.
Yeah, 30.
I'm quite sure. And so she's got a calculation that the girls, like her try scoring, should be a lot higher. The strike rate.
Yeah, I see where she's coming from.
Yeah, she's got a good point too.
Yeah, she sure does.
Yeah. I don't know what the reward is at the end of the year.
Maybe a dinner at Western Suburbs Bistro.
Oh, yeah. Well, we get vouchers to go there for man of the match, and
okay. Does it include dessert? Like,
yeah, probably.
Maybe it's a chocolate sundae or something.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you don't want to spoil, your partner, do you? Takes it. You've got to do it right.
you win the award, so it should be for you.
Yeah,
but Walks has got. Oh, he would have $300, I reckon.
He's not short of a quid.
No, he's not.
What does he do throughout the week?
He's a dump truck driver.
Well, there you go.
Yeah, got plenty of cash.
And he doesn't really go to the hairdressers that often, does he?
No.
You just got to have a look at that mop of hair. I mean, is he sort of trying to go afro style?
Yeah, I'm not sure. We had a retro ball last week, and he went as the wedding singer. Adam Sandler pulled it off too.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah,
yeah. He's the sort of guy that could pull everything off, I suppose. Couldn't he? He's got that face about him.
Yeah.
Very versatile. I don't know if we can get a shot of him, but he's down here.
He looks a lot like Cody Walker. You know Cody Walker from South Sydney? He looks a lot like him.
Dead set ringer. Let's see if we can get a shot. Let's not put our head before the cart, or the horse before the cart, but we'll go with head because we said it first. We'll just have a look at this kick, see if he can kick it. Let's just pause and see if the crowd can put him off. They couldn't.
Lovely.
How good's that?
He's lost his little arm swing at the start of the year.
You want to see the shot of Walker, one of your mates?
Yep. Western Suburbs now 10, leading Lakes United 0.
You'll just have to hang.
Righto.
We've got to figure out where he is. Can you tell everyone where he... Paint it. Let's pretend we're on radio. What's he doing now, Walker?
So he's hands on hips, just waiting, standing there to catch a position, but now he'll just start bog trotting towards the other side of the field to start directing the troops around.
Yeah.
But the lock of hair that's going is, it's very nice. Curly. I think he perms it.
He's in, yeah.
Yeah, actually goes to the hairdresser and get it permed.
What about Baker? Looks like he does a little bit of that too, but of the shearing variety. He's got the ball now.
Yep.
Mannion, of course, 12th year at the club. He's always got the number 4.
Yeah, straight over. Nothing special with Pete.
No, here he comes again in Baker.
Yep. Samurai look he's gone for.
Is he inked up anywhere?
Pardon?
Inked up anywhere?
Yeah, mate, he's got a whole sleeve.
Does he?
Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
So he's not clear cut?
No, he's not a clean skin.
No.
Must be playing fullback. Wits.
Must be.
Yeah, he's taking his time to get in the line.
Well, I hope you're enjoying the Business Plaza Cup Sunday afternoon football. It's always great to come out to the lake. It's a different air out here, isn't it, Dave?
Yeah, mate, it is. It's lucky. It's a nice day because it's normally cold and miserable out here.
Yeah.
windy. The wind picks up. It's freezing, but it's a nice day. It's good for footy.
Yeah, it really is. Really warms the veins, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
sure
Gets
does.
the heart pumping.
Yep.
I think that's all a part of rugby league on a Sunday.
Yep.
You know, it's a great afternoon to be watching Tupou taking it forward in jersey number 20. Always impresses me, Tupou. You can't get a jersey small enough, so they've always got to put him in the 20, but he fits it out quite well.
Yeah, mate, he does. He's a big boy.
What do you reckon
Works
he is?
hard.
He's limping. About
He's
110 kilos.
Oh, I don't know if he'd be that. Might be around the hunch, maybe a bit more.
Was he at...
But he's a strong boy.
Was Tupou at South when Bettridge was there?
Mate, I don't think he was. I think he was playing cup when Adam was the coach.
Yeah.
So Benny had a few years playing cup.
Yeah. What about Richardson? He knows how to play, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does, mate. He's good.
Loves the Rebels.
Yeah, does a lot of hard stuff that, most people won't see.
I feel sorry, though, for a lot of the players these days with representative football. I mean, it's just yesteryear stuff, isn't it, now?
Yeah. Yeah. Like it was good for the young fellas to play their rep games as young Shillo's back out there. But, yeah, mate, it was sort of...
Do they miss it? I mean, what's the talk around camp? I mean, I know Gilmire, he's going off to represent, the under-23s. He's,
Yeah.
at the end of the year, and he's going down to Wagga and all that, and he's going to play before the World Cup. But what is the general, census about representative footy now with the Country Rugby League, making it unavailable for the over-23s?
Yeah, mate, I'm not too sure how they all feel. From the ones that have been around, Stevie Gordon and Cal, Simon Williams, like a lot of the boys have had a go at playing NRL or that system. So I think like when they sort of, because I'd imagine it'd be a bit hard to sort of let go of them dreams or aspirations. But when you come back, you get rewarded from playing footy at a decent level, and you get a nice little holiday at the end of the year. So for someone like Simon Williams, it might not worry him because he's had about 5 in a row. But it's a good opportunity for the young fellas to get noticed, and if it's a genuine marking point, I guess, or if there's a genuine chance to get noticed by making it just the 23s, I'd be all for it. So, yeah.
Great to have Dave Dryden back. Sundays are complete. I'd like to say hello to Karen Kennedy. She's tuning in from Marketown up in Queenstown. Chris Stevens listening in along with Jack Mackin and Lenny McQuinlan. Lenny Quinlan, that's a good name. Just like this man, Keenan throwing the dummy. And Williams, he's lost the football and back out to the 20. He nearly had his double.
He did, mate, he did. And it was good hustle by the Lakes team. Did you say there was a Lenny Quinlan?
Yeah.
Hello, Lenny. He's one of my good mates.
Is he from Carrington?
He is.
Yeah, I thought it was one of the Dateses.
He is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Isn't his brother Benny?
That's him.
Yeah, I lived next door to them.
Do ya?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah. For 20 years.
Wow. Small world, Pete. Can't do much in Newcastle without knowing everyone.
Yeah,
so.
no, that's when New Carrington had 3 murders out the front of our house.
Mate, that just.
Do you know Donny from Carrington? Oh, there's a few Donnies, but he was he played for the Carrington Pirates.
No, I don't.
Nah, Donny Stevens.
Oh,
He used
okay.
to hang around Lenny and Benny.
Yeah. Nah, Lenny's.
I know his father quite well.
Yeah.
Benny's father from Kempsey. Macca.
Yeah, Mac, yep, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Is he still going?
Nah, mate, Mac passed away a few years ago, so, yeah.
Oh, unfortunate.
Yeah,
Didn't know
it is
that.
unfortunate, yeah.
I mean, he was always there for his sons. He took them everywhere.
Yeah, well, Lenny, absolute superb footballer back in his day. I played, when I was 18, 19, I played up at Terrace with him, and he was a freak.
Yeah.
An absolute freak. He there was a semi-final. They scored on the bell, and it was tied.
Yeah.
So it was tied, and Lenny was kicking from whatever side of the football field. Someone dared him to kick it left foot, so he did, and still got it. He's an absolute talent. He's good cricket. He's a great cricketer.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, when he was down in a system, the Knights and stuff when he was younger, and yeah, so probably a talent.
Brings back a lot of memories. And I don't know if you know Boo Boo.
I do know Boo Dates and all them boys.
Yeah. No, we used to hang around down at Connolly Park at Carrington. And used to play.
Yeah.
You know, when I was 10 or 11 down there, and they all used to come down. And Elvis, remember Elvis?
Yep.
Is he? Yeah.
Yeah, Elvis is still there.
He's still
We
there?
actually we won a cricket grand final at Conley Park, and you should have seen it. Is it Conley Park at Carrow?
Yeah.
Yep. So we won.
Hold the phone, David, as we see Brad Ty heading towards the post. Now he finds himself under the post.
What about the try? What about the fend?
What about the run?
Oh, that was a great try. That might be the magic
Moment.
moment. That was a great fend. But yeah. So mate, they're all there. What's he saying?
Western Suburbs fullback number 1, Brad
Got
Ty.
Mick Lennon on the line.
Western Suburbs now 14, leading Lakes United 0.
Hello, Mick Leon.
You know where Mick's from?
I got no idea who he is.
He just wants to know, are you blokes going to commentate or just tell stories for 80 minutes?
Well, we might tell stories for 80 minutes now.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Boo.
Boo.
Boo Boo dates. If you're listening, Boo Boo, I'd love to have a drink. What does he live at? Still live at Mayfield?
Mate, I'm not sure. I haven't seen him for a while.
Gee, the Carrington Pirates back in the day, they were fast and furious. That's for sure. So Western Suburbs, the competition leaders.
While we're talking about the Newcastle community, mate, I just want to send my love and thoughts and prayers out to Kerry Field and Bob Smith and my good mates Rob, Tim, Ben, and Jeremy. They lost their brother early hours of Friday morning. So just sending some love out your way, boys, and massive loss in the Aboriginal community. So yeah, send some love
Western
out your
Suburbs
way.
now out to a 16 points for the lead with just over 5 minutes remaining in the
David
first half.
Ryden. His comeback game today was in reserve grade for Western Suburbs. Big win in reserves for Wests. Absolutely put the sword through Lakes by 36 points to 12. Just for your fan base, Dave, just give them a bit of an insight into your week that's been. Hit training, you wanted to get out there, you're really hitting the gym this week. How's Dr. Halpin?
Yeah, mate, I got the clearance from Halpo last week, so I was raring to go last week. They called the game off, so mate, just an easy week at training, trying to get through the sessions and get back to it. But yeah, foot's pulled up all right, and it's just good to be back out there running with the boys. I hadn't ran for 5 or 6 weeks, so it's just good to get out there, joke around, talk a bit of crap,
And come up into the box.
and then come up into the box. Yeah, so it's good.
It's been a perfect Sunday afternoon for both of us, mate, as Ty finds Walker. Let's see what he can do. Walker intended to get to the ball a little bit earlier than he was able to put the foot to it, but maybe it's going to pay dividends in the end, and Utah goes over for the 3rd try.
Yeah, that was nice. Nice bit of passage of play. Walks has already obviously had his eyes up, saw a bit of space there and put a little kick in, and it's just a competitor. Walks, he just tries to compete 100% at everything, and it just showed there by getting to the loose ball first.
Well, I thought Ryan Walker, he wasn't able to get to the ball because he was pulled off the football, but he just showed all his class there, and to be able to not defy himself getting to the ball, and all of a sudden he put the toe to it, and the rest, as they say, is history. So there you go. We've seen 20 points from Western Suburbs in the first 37 minutes this half. And it's not all over yet. As we have a look at the crowd.
It's a bit unexpected, isn't it, Pete, this lead, 20-0.
I'm a bit worried about the crowd, Dave. I know it's flu season.
Yeah.
Have you had your vaccination? Because the bloke on the screen a minute ago looks like he needs a double dose.
Oh, has he?
Where's he gone?
Lost.
He's gone off, has he?
Yeah,
He
right.
hasn't gone to the end. Oh, you were sneezing, wasn't he? What's your take on the vaccine, mate? Keep it out or put it in?
I've got no idea.
Let's see if this bloke's got an idea. He can. He's slotted it over. He knows what it's all about.
He knows
Sam
what he's
Keenan.
doing, Sammy.
Hey?
He does.
He's on
He's
song.
always practicing his kicks at training. very committed.
22-0 lead over the home side.
See if Lakes can bring some energy and try to get a try. See if they can get on the scoreboard before the half's finished.
Great to have Chris Stevens joining the coverage.
He must be at work. If he's on there, he's at work.
Sam Atthorpe, he's joined. He's not worrying about the Days of the Night special going on NBN right now. He's all fired up worrying about Western Suburbs. Well, you don't need to worry. They're leading by 22-0 as Utah finds himself getting off the Chris Adams tackle. So Wall goes to the right-hand side. Ben Stone. And 12. Dropping off there was Tupou. Shillings is back onto the field since he's been sin-binned in the early stages of the first half. Nice shot again there on Stone.
There's a bit of grubbing, that. Nice.
Half a moment. Oh, that could be a moment. He nearly had his head smashed into two. Did you see that, Dave?
Oh,
that was a Falcon of the year. Let's have a look at this on the Bar TV Sports replay. I don't know if the editors are back at the Bar TV, if they're busy at the moment, but I reckon if we could edit this and put it up by the end of the match, this highlight here will probably outrate the entire coverage of the next 80 minutes. Take a look at this. We'll slow it down to make the editing easier for you. Bang! Cop that.
Straight in the kisser.
Straight into the kisser. I like that. He won't be kissing for a month.
It's got D. McBain, old D. McBain, sending me a message saying, how can I get a message to Pete Jolly? How would you like me to respond to that, Pete?
What's he want?
Dean, just reply to the message, mate. We'll get that message to him.
Chris Stevens is watching from Kooragang Coal Loader.
Yeah, that doesn't shock me one bit.
Oh, $100 an hour on the coal loader. Isn't it great to know where they can take their mobiles and watch our footy?
That's his normal hourly rate too, Chris.
This is Adams. On the stroke of half-time, Tom Taylor, he says, fellas, let's go to the break with Western Suburbs leading by 22-0 here in the Business Plaza Cup.
Western Suburbs in control.
Well, Western Suburbs, they're in control, and they're in control of the competition. They're currently first on the ladder. They've played 9, won 8, lost only one match, and that was way back in round 4 this year when the Macquarie Scorpions knocked them off by 18 points to 14. But they are the real deal in the 2017 Business Plaza Cup. Matt Lantry heading on back into the sheds, and just letting everybody know, at full time, David Dryden will be taking the camera and the microphone into the Western Suburbs sheds. That's a highlight. That's always a moment for me, Dave.
Oh, we just got to give the viewers what they want, don't we?
We do.
Yeah.
We do. And you deliver.
Yeah, we'll
You're
go
a man
in.
that delivers.
We'll go in. We'll try to talk to a few of the players, and maybe try to grab Matty. See what's cracking.
Yeah, we haven't had much of Matt Lantry this year on the telly. We should get his
we'll get him. We'll get his input.
salt and pepper shade on TV.
Yeah, he's got the George Clooney.
Is he still
going.
doing the commercials, or has he given that up?
I don't know.
He was doing commercials.
Was
right,
he?
and center, the home with his
Oh, right.
He was an extra.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was like
Did not know that.
prime time.
Wow.
He was on the State of Origin last year at prime, 30-second clip. He
Yeah.
was. Yeah, talk to him. Yeah,
Yeah, right.
no dribble.
All right, well, then we'll ask him
We'll
that.
ask him about that because he's got the look for being an extra. I don't know about home and away,
Yeah.
but certainly a local commercial he's got the look for.
Well, he could probably pass as George Clooney's double, wouldn't he?
I'd say he would.
The salt and pepper.
He hogged the page in the Sunday Newcastle Sunday paper today. Do you have a look at that?
No, I didn't see
It's a
it.
good article, actually.
Yeah.
You know how he's got the Rugby League Academy?
Yep.
He's in there with Adam Bettridge.
Oh, he's got a head for radio, doesn't he, Adam?
So tell me a bit more about this story about, just for the viewers that might have just clicked on, we had a little bit of a reminisce, didn't we, earlier in the broadcast about Adam's time at Souths.
Yep.
So, yeah, that was quite interesting. Just for the viewers, just give me a snapshot of what they missed.
Oh, well, we're just talking about about how he coached there for a while, and there's little snippets and whispers around that they call him Adam Bennett, and I don't know what that means.
No.
So
let me just say Bennett. So how many Bennetts do we know in rugby league?
Wayne.
Wayne Bennett.
Oh, okay, that's what they must
Could
have
it be
meant.
Wayne, like the old Broncos coach? Is that what he could? Is that
Yeah,
right?
maybe that.
So he's the Wayne Bennett of our comp.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Not
Well,
bad.
he took a fair few. You know, he got a fair few signings for the club, didn't he? Jared
Oh,
Edwards, Scotty Briggs was there, Nat Hinnon was there,
Yeah.
Matt Shipway. He had some talent in there. Definitely had the squad,
Yeah.
and he's got the squad again now out at Macquarie. Their depth is pretty big, as it showed. They knocked off the leaders in reserve grade, so must be plenty of depth.
I'm
there.
going to introduce a new segment. What's rattled the coach's gears throughout the week? Now, I've got a coach in mind, Steve Kidd.
Yep. Kitty.
Steve Kiddie up at the Cessnock Goannas.
Hello, Stephen.
Hello, Stephen. He's always a valid listener to Bar TV Sports, so we always respect his opinion. Now, he's slammed the referee for taking the game back to the dark ages yesterday.
Yeah, right.
Now, I understand that Steve Kidd, he was a little bit frustrated, and he's called for, this is my take, now I don't know if this is 100% right, but he's called for the Newcastle Rugby League referees, I believe, to be more accountable after a brutal local, what would you say, a Coalfields derby yesterday up at Curry.
Yeah,
and
right.
he's just claiming that they took the game back to the dark ages.
So what do you mean by that? Plenty of head eyes and eye
a few
gouges?
sin binnings,
Oh, right.
And the Goannas, of course, they came down from, 16-0 at half-time to win 27-22 at Curry. I think it was, wasn't it?
Ladies and gentlemen,
But it was just saying basically that it's a semi-professional comp, but the officiating was back in the dark ages. I think he was just saying that the comp's come a long way. It's a strong comp, and the officials might just have to come with it. I know it's hard. I mean, at the end of the day, referees have got tight budgets and there's no accountability. But I think he was just pretty much saying that there's only 4 first-grade referees, and that's it. Whether they do a good job or a bad job, they still go around the next week.
Yeah, and that's a fair assessment too, I reckon, Pete. There doesn't seem to be, like, who is there now? There's Tommy Aylett, both Taylors, and then
Graham Stair.
And then Sterry. So, when you used to, when I was growing up and there was refs, there was John Taylor, then there was Gav West, Drew Outram, and then obviously Stair was still around.
Yeah.
And I guess what Kiddies is right. What he's saying is correct. If you've had a bad game, you can't expect to stay up there, can you? So if Johnny Taylor's had a bad game in the eyes of the referee, like, should he ref the big game again next week?
Yeah, that's a valid point.
Yeah, it is. And I think that happens sort of throughout the whole competition. So there's, I was giving crap to an old West junior this morning, but there's kids reffing men.
Yeah.
I don't know.
From a player's point of view, is it a bit weird?
Oh, mate, you'd probably just, it's not weird, but if there's referees that are young and then someone's pressuring them from the game, are they going to feel pressured to make the call that they don't really want to make, or are they doing it because of the players, influencing them? I don't know. But
it's an interesting situation that we have, but I guess it's not just here in the Newcastle Rugby League. I mean, it's in every country.
Was there a comment from Ronnie Griffiths? How did it? They're talking about refs today.
Well, Ron was quite happy. I mean, he said that he thought Taylor controlled the flow of the game pretty well. I know
that's a fair assessment from a losing coach, I guess. Like, if he's lost, he'd normally slam. You're normally slamming the refs, aren't you? So that's pretty. I don't know. I guess that's a pretty interesting opinion.
No, I mean, if you got nothing much on tonight, maybe click onto the Bar TV Sports YouTube page and watch that game because it was a phenomenal game of rugby league. I mean, Mick Hampton and Kurt Warden from Cessnock, they both spent 10 minutes in the sin bin for their involvement in melees following some high tackles.
That is not a shock at all, Mick Hampton having a rest for 10 minutes, is it?
Yeah.
That is not a shock at all. Hello, Mick, if you're listening, or you're going to listen later on.
Yeah.
He's a good bloke. He's a good bloke, Mick.
And one of the Dunstan centres, I think it was Debs Dunstan, scored a try, and that put the visitors back in the game at half-time. And he's going all right up there. You know, I mean, the thing is, the Maitland Pickers, I can understand their frustration too if we can just break away from Curry and Cessnock from yesterday and just have a chat for the next couple of minutes about the Maitland Pickers. Now, there's talk that the ground, now I haven't got any confirmation in the last week, so I don't know if it's changed in the last 5 days. The last time I spoke to the Maitland City Council, now I don't speak to them every week, you know, but I speak to them every now and then, they're still dealing with the football club about occupation, health and safety issues. Now, we're talking about one of the finest stadiums now in the Hunter, and they're having occupational safety issues. How can that be in 2017? I just think that's outside disgraceful. I mean, I don't know
how you have it when they haven't opened it yet.
Yeah, I know, but what is the problem? I mean, why can't they sign off? What's stopping them there from playing there?
I don't know. It must be
they're playing
the condition of the ground.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Hawko needs to give the money back so they can finish it off.
It's his fault, you reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I know he's got...
Maybe he spent too much on the picket ball night.
Yeah.
Because he was a bit dusty, wasn't he, when he was on the Monday wrap on a Tuesday?
Was he? On a Tuesday?
Yeah. You know, remember Hey Hey, it's Saturday?
Yeah.
But you know when it had Hey Hey, it's Tuesday?
Yeah.
Bar TV's trying to do the same thing.
Yeah, right. Okay.
But we love uniqueness, and it's working, but so you got to stick with it, don't you?
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah. Have you watched it?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
No, I just started a new job last week, so I've been a bit busy. Otherwise, I would have.
That's the correct
I would have, yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I mean, hopefully they can sort out the mess up there. Because, I mean, you know, this time last year they were hoping that the Pickers will be able to play back up at the Maitland Sports Ground come May or June. It's now July, and I did see the end of the season.
Yeah, I did see a snap from Hawko driving past, and it looks immaculate. Look, it looks so good. And I was talking to Frankie Lawler a few weeks ago when we played Maitland, and you know, he was telling us that there's flat screens in the shed, so you can watch them.
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
What do you see? You don't have to go outside and watch you stay in the sheds. That'd be awesome.
Well, I think it's over $8.6 million boost or something like that. It's quite phenomenal.
So they've done all the hard work, and now they don't want to wreck it. It's like buying a car. It'd be like buying a Ferrari for a Sunday drive and just leaving it in the fridge. Leaving it in the garage.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I hear. Yeah. Does everybody else agree with that? Let us know on Facebook.
What about you, Mick Leon?
Yeah, what do you reckon, Mick? Let us know. Facebook. You know, it's obviously the upgrade. They're ticking away, and you know everything's going on nicely. But
I don't know if we play Maitland again. I hope we do. If they open, I don't want to wait till next year.
And they reckon the canteen is absolutely exceptional too.
Oh, Adam Bettridge would love that. He'd love the new canteen.
Yeah.
Triple stacked steak sandwiches. Apparently he wants. Specially made out at Scorps Field.
Do they specially make it for him?
Yeah.
He's the boss, isn't he?
Adam Swadling was telling me he blew up. He walked in there because they gave him a normal steak sandwich, and he went in there and blew up deluxe that he didn't have his quad stacked steak sandwich. So they specially make them now.
Maybe they'll have to rename the burger.
Yeah.
The Bettridge.
The
Whopper.
Bettridge. The Bettridge. Just call it the Bettridge.
Give me a Bettridge.
Yeah. The boys have got the ball back off the kick-off.
Did you notice we've got a game going on out here?
Oh, I didn't.
No. Apparently it's the Newcastle Tooheys Cup in all its glorious tie. Being picked up and driven. That's the first moment of the second half. Did you like that?
That was a good tackle, yeah. Nice bit of passage of play from the West boys, throwing some options around. It was good defensive solve.
They're trying to please you, they are. Jade Porter, Walker, Goes short. There's another one. Stone crashes over. 4 minutes gone in the second half. And it's 26 points to 0.
Yeah, that was a, in a non-biased opinion, that was a pretty play from the boys there. It's like a little wraparound from the hooker and just gave the West boys some extra numbers and, yeah, Walk showed a bit of class by hitting the short man.
Western Suburbs now 26, leading
Stoney
United 0.
getting one over his old teammate, so he'll be happy with that.
Coming up here on the Bar TV Sports replay. We've just seen it. And hope you enjoyed what you're able to witness. And of course, Western Suburbs certainly did. They've started the second half like they finished the first half. Now, coming into this match, the Seagulls, I was going through the draw, started doing the research, Dave, from round 8. Didn't want to go all the way back because it's time and effort. But I started only a couple of weeks ago.
Yep.
And by reading the draw, I found that they started their roll, one would say, when they knocked off Curry by 32-22. Now, we were up at that game, and you were impressed with the boys going up there.
Yep.
Now, the week after, they played Macquarie. Now, they were unlucky, weren't they, not to win that game. Macquarie got up in the last 5 minutes.
Yeah.
What was it, 13-12?
The field goal.
Yeah.
Randall Bridge, yeah.
So you've got to paint the picture that Macquarie's now sitting second on the competition ladder, and Lakes gave them a good run around the park.
Yep.
Now, we forward another week to last week, and that was round 10.
Yep.
And Central were third on the ladder, and Lakes knocked them off by 32 points to 20.
Yep.
So they've really rattled the top three, haven't they?
Yeah, mate, they have. And, you know, the score lines are a bit of a shame here so far in this game because, you know, the Lakes are a lot better than what they're showing at the moment. They're young, they're youthful, they work hard for each other, and yeah, mate, it's a bit of a shock. But credit to the West boys, they have been pretty polished so far. So
yeah, really played them off the park, haven't they?
Yeah, yeah.
And the hot favourites for the competition. I know they don't like to have that label on the back of them, but
no, Scorps are, mate. Ask Adam. Adam tells me all the time they're $1 special.
$1.
Toronto, yeah. They had to cancel the betting because he had put too much money on them. Glenn Munsey cancelled it.
Glenn Munsey, he cancelled it, did he?
Yeah.
Wonder what Gary Harley's got to say about that. Maybe the big fella be impressed with this try coming if they're able to catch it, but they've bombed it.
Oh, Richo will be filthy at that.
Ginger Meggs has gone without it. Mate, let's go around the grounds. It's half time in the Business Plaza Cup. Macquarie leading South by 16 points to 12. Maitland are playing Central today, and we're just still waiting to get a score update from that ground. But at half time, South are trailing Macquarie by 4 points. West play Curry next week, and South will play Macquarie next Sunday.
So that's another one. That's a double-double for South and Macquarie. They play today and they play again next week.
Well, the rest of the teams have got the weekend off.
Yep.
So it's the deferred matches. So West are at home to Curry.
Young Jade Porter's down in the background.
Yeah, it doesn't look well for Jade. Hope he's all right.
Yeah, hope he's all right. He's just starting to string a few games together, and he's been injured a fair bit this year at the start in the All-Star game, and then he copped a bad knock. And
I was going through the old videos of Jade last night, actually.
Yeah.
When he gave that little kid from, I think it was Lakes, wasn't it? His first ever try.
Yeah.
He was the coach of the Cardiff Cougars, wasn't he?
Yeah,
under
it was.
Sixes. Is he still under? No, he's under sevens coach.
So yeah,
he's
sevens now. Yeah, coaches his daughter Emmy.
Yeah,
who's an absolute gun. I'll add to she's fast and she's got that killer instinct. You know, you go watch most kids. You know, the little fellas run around, just try to run around the team. But Emmy, she steps and weaves, and she's a good defender.
Sure is.
All credit to Lieta, none for Jade. But no, that was a nice touch that Port's done last year for the little fella that scored his first try. We actually do try to do that. Me and Wows, we coach our young boys. We try to do that the opposition's team as well. So
good stuff.
Try to make the all the kids enjoy their game of footy.
Was in the NPL today. We've also got Hamilton Olympic FC taking on Charlestown. And Charlestown leading 1-0 at half-time. And now, I'm just getting a word in from that ground. Actually, it's 1-1. Game on there.
Yeah, right.
1-1 between Hamilton and Charlestown. Kane Goodchild with a penalty goal. There you go. So that game, of course, covered on Bar TV Sports and Broadmeadow Magic. Going around as well, that game on Bar TV Sports, as Richardson takes it up to the 40-metre line. 26 points to 0 here on Sunday Rugby League, here in the Business Plaza Cup. Tom Taylor out in the middle with the whistle. Hasn't blown too many penalties in this match, Tom. He's let the game flow. Two penalties. I'm getting word from the Referees Association. No Craig Dybert today. I suppose he's having a day off, or he might even be out at Toronto, Craig. But only 2 penalties in this match so far off the whistle of Tom Taylor. And I think that's good. I mean, on Friday night in the NRL, wasn't that a disgraceful? I mean, just penalty after penalty.
Yeah.
So watching that and watching this, he's let the game flow, and it's good
he
to
has.
see.
Mate,
It's
really
really good.
We had the same in reserve grade. I think some refs just sort of think they are NRL, so they've got to blow the P out of the whistle. But Tommy's doing a good job at the moment. Only 2 penalties.
Mate, what's your take on the situation unfolding at the Newcastle Knights? I mean, there's a lot of surveys going around local newspapers, about the subject of should they ditch Nathan Brown. A lot of people are saying it's not acceptable and it's embarrassing to the community. What's your take on that?
Mate, personally, I don't like it. Like I'm on Facebook, you like the Knights page or the Knights fan page, and it's BS really, because you're there supporting your team. Like, I don't know what the community expects. Like, obviously, everyone knows what Bennett's done and all that sort of stuff with the players and leaving them short. But he's doing as best as he can with the squad that he's got. I think next year they just got to, the recruitment drive is obviously going to improve. But the players that are playing, compared to last year, they're busting their freckles off. So.
Just like this man in Walker, picked up a try early on in the first half, but now he's been bundled into touch.
But yeah, mate, I wouldn't sack him. I think he does a good job, and he seems to give the young fellas a crack that deserve it. So,
but the thing is, I mean, who else is there? I mean, who's left?
There's none. There's no coaches.
You tell me what coach can do a better job at the Newcastle Knights?
Adam Bettridge. Nah, mate. Oh, look, there's probably only assistant coaches that would be able to step up from other clubs. Like, I know Dean Pay seems to have a good reputation, but Brownie's been there for 2 years, and I know they haven't won many games, but you can tell their attitudes changed heaps. They probably miss a really good experienced half, and maybe another experienced prop or someone like that. I think Dane Gagai was a massive mistake letting him go. Yeah. Like, that I don't understand. They said they won't break the bank for Gagai, but mate, I would have gave him top dollar, because he's just an absolute superstar, really. But yeah, no, mate, I'd leave him there.
I don't think it's too long before we see the Knights dominating on the field. I mean, you've just got to look at the last 2 or 3 years from their juniors. And I mean, Harold Matthews, they've won the premiership this year. They, last year they went down in the grand final, the Parramatta. So they've been to their, so they're 14, 15, 16-year-olds. The hardest thing, though, and we know this being in rugby league for a long, long time, is how do you keep the juniors? That's the thing.
Well,
how do we do that to keep them there? I think there was a profitable team.
Yeah, I think there was three players out of that grand final team in the Harold Mats have all just signed at the Roosters or a Sydney team. Like, how do you not keep them juniors? They're only 16. What are they offering?
Yeah.
So,
It's a tough fight.
I don't know. We just got sledged by someone here. I don't know. I don't know what he's saying. He's got sitting on a couple of cans.
As Adams has got support. Back to Kennedy. Oh, Kennedy. He goes over. Try time to Lakes. Their first one of the day. 26-4. 10 minutes gone. Second half.
That's good. Here they come. Here they come, mate.
Kyle Kennedy.
Yes, we're getting a couple of high fives and
shuckers
shuckers from the boys in front.
Well, Kyle Kennedy and Gagai. I know Gagai's out for about 4 or 5 weeks with a hamstring injury, but he's always lurking out wide, Kennedy, and he's been probably one of the best in their backline in 2017, along with Gilmire and Gagai. So he's always never giving up. What's your mate Tafua having a chat to Taylor about, Dave?
I don't know. He's probably just asking a question. Probably just asking him for 50-50 calls or something like that. I don't know. He doesn't. He's not that type of bloke. Mark, he wouldn't go and ask him for something if it wasn't warranted. He's normally a head down, bum up type of bloke, and if he didn't honestly think there was something wrong with Taylor's performance, he wouldn't have went up to him, I guess. The crowd stuck it to him.
I love the atmosphere out here. You're amongst the thick of it here in the grandstand. You can actually hear the crowd coming through our special effects mic.
Through our air-conditioned box, you mean?
It's a nice breeze this afternoon. They've got the temperature right for you. Oh, that temperature's way off.
That was a snap hook off the
That ball had a fever. But yeah, I mean, your mate Tafua, let's go back. Let's play the theme music if this is your life for a couple of minutes. You hear in the background now. Mark Tafua, captain. Played Union, when was it, Mr. Dave? When he was 17?
17, I think, yeah.
Mayfield East, Waratah Rugby. Then he went across the Knights for a while, didn't he? Then he had a little bit of dibbling action with Samoa.
Yep.
Where'd he go after that? He went down to the Sharks for a while.
Yeah, he was down at the Sharks and got really big, really quick, really fit, really quick as well. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know how he got fit and fast that quick.
He was at the Cronulla Sharks.
Yeah, he was at the Sharks.
And then, of course, he's played over 50 more than 50 games now for West back in our local comp.
Yeah, mate. He after the Sharks, he decided that the travel, because he was travelling from Newcastle, and I think he might have been renting down there or staying with the mates, a few days a week. But mate, he just got too hard for him and his young family. So he thought he still had a few years, and he definitely had. And mate, I still reckon he's got a few more years after this as well, because he's a pretty valuable player in our club. He's a great clubman as well. Loves a joke, loves a smile.
Rugby League Football Club double. We'll pay on home 4, away 4.
Real talent.
That's home 4, away 4.
Team of talent.
Expect your prize from the beer tent.
Team of experience. Will they be there in the last Saturday of September? Brad Tye. He knows what.
He's starting to hit his straps, isn't he?
All about he is. I think the best ever decision from Matt Lantry was to put him back at fullback.
Yeah, I agree. Ryan,
this man,
he
won't say no. Petro. But Lake say no.
The short right. Stoney will go himself. Oh, passed.
Tye will go himself and score.
That was too easy. Too much pace, Pete.
Did you hear the whistle from the crowd?
Yeah.
Someone likes him.
That's his wife, Sarah.
There you go. Another competition going on.
Yeah.
We heard it. Good whistle. We'll give you an update. Broadmeadow Magic 3-1. 3-1 over the Lambton Jaffers today.
Wonder how Joel Griffiths feels about that.
Yeah, I wish I could ask you.
Or Ryan. Joe Wheelhouse.
Yeah.
So maybe we should call them Lambton Jets.
The Lambton Jets?
Yeah.
Yeah. Got a nice spin to it. I'm happy if you're happy.
Yeah. They must have a really good backing. They must have a nice, safe Lambton Jaffers.
Or a tree that's in with
money. Ryan McNaughton. I know Ryan McNaughton. He won't play for anything less than 500 a game.
500 a game.
Yeah.
He scores a goal. What is it, like 1,000 a goal?
5%.
5%.
I know, I just see that on FIFA.
So the Knights are going around as we speak against the Bulldogs.
Who are you backing there, Pete? It's a close
Bulldogs.
one. Oh, yeah.
I'd love to see the Knights. Like, you know, I remember the days of the Knights. Well, we just had that program at 3:30. How original. There was an actual Days of the Knights program on NBN back in 1992.
Yep.
Loved the concept, loved the
And a
program.
successful
But I
conversion
thought
there
they
to
could have come
Western
up with a bit
Suburbs
more
halfback Sam
originality with the program name.
Yeah, right.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, I agree.
Can you get 2 runs out of one
Western
name?
Suburbs throws down with
Sure, of
72.
course you can.
You can? So you're happy with the program title?
Yep.
Okay. So I'm just weird.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I think the Knights have got a good chance today. I mean,
Yeah.
they got booed off Hunter Stadium last week, didn't they?
Yeah.
They've
but
got a lot to live up to. The coach is under pressure.
I don't
Although-
think they'll like that. If I seen an article with Pete Matty T, if he's getting booed by young girls saying they're not trying hard enough or whatever it was, he won't like that. The players can't like that, surely. So I know, and you don't pull on a Knights jersey unless you play for the community as well. So I tip the Knights. I reckon they'll beat them. I reckon Bulldogs throw nothing. They're boring. I can't stand watching them.
Yeah.
But I think the Knights might get them.
Well, I hope you're right. I hope you're right. And, of course, it's an emotional day for Josh Reynolds, playing his last game at the ground. He played at twice a year for the last 3 years.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of reminiscing going on down there. Back to Bilmore. They reckon there's a big crowd down there. Nothing like going to the old grounds, is there?
I reckon they should have more of that.
Well, I'm hearing that the Sydney Roosters are going to take more games away from the Sydney football
Yeah,
stadium.
they should too. It looks boring.
You don't like it?
Nah. Just take them to a suburb. Like take them to a suburb field.
Well, there's even doubt about the cash injection into the Stadium Australia. I mean, that's
Yeah.
still in doubt. I mean,
Yeah.
they're talking about grand finals, in 2020, possibly in Perth, but they've got to figure out if the money's going ahead first, wouldn't they?
Yeah. Like if I was
Oh, he's lost it. No, he
had a
hasn't.
fumble. No. Oh, the crowd's
The crowd
vocal.
are booing. Listen to the boos from the crowd. They're
That's
still booing.
ridiculous. That's a joke.
Tom Taylor. He's keeping them apart, but he's
That-
not keeping the crowd. Oh, big tackle.
Yeah, that was a good tackle. That was Luke
I'm
Grogan that
worried
said
about
out
your
that was a
moments,
joke.
Dave.
He's a ref,
You've
by
had
the
it-
way.
Yeah.
Doesn't like the performance of Tommy Taylor.
We've got our moments coming up throughout the next 40 minutes here. What's your top moments so far? Maybe it could be this if we can offload. No, we can't.
Mate, so far would be either the Mauutai shot
Yeah.
or maybe the chip and chase. Little
You like that,
from
didn't
from
you?
what yeah, from Walks.
I did notice that brought a smile to your face.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was good.
Yeah. It's really good.
Plenty of more to come through, but we've still got 20 minutes left.
Oh, we've got a long time to go. Don't go anywhere, Dave.
I'm strapped in, mate. I might see a late surge from Lakesy, I reckon.
This is Kelly. Tackle count restarted here. So Sullivan finding Boss. That's the 30-metre line here. First place, Western Suburbs. On a mission. Petro in the tackle along with Mark Tafua. So Chris Adams in his second game back with his wrist injury. Finding Sullivan out wider. Robbins goes out to Craig. So 5 away, looking for their second try of the match. Hayes to the 10-metre line. Hibbert's calling for it on debut out here on the left as Kelly comes to Glowy. Glowy's within 5 metres. Sunday Rugby League, last tackle. Kelly kicking straight into the possession of Keenan. And he's back out to the 20, the dynamic halfback.
Yeah. Nice little effort there from Semi Keenan. Pete Mannion has a tough hit up. Nothing unusual there, but I think Lakes just might not try to need to bring a bit more energy in their attacking set. They seem to be pretty flat. The last few games we've watched, they've been energetic, and that's probably kept them in the game. And yeah, maybe it's taken its toll.
Dave Dryden. From Western Suburbs in our broadcast boxes, Walker tries to pop the pass, does so. Alutini, he steps, he loses it, he throws it over his head, picked up by the Seagulls, and they've come up with the ball 30 metres out from their own goal line.
Not that he needs a haircut because it looks pretty fresh, but that could be a magic moment.
It's up there with the best today.
Yeah.
We have to.
So it's not all about the good, it could be the bad.
All right.
And that as I watch him, he's shaking his head. He's not happy with himself, but yeah.
Ben Stone. Knows what it's like to play here at Lakes before joining the Rosellas. So a tiny knock on coming from the home side here. Hope you're enjoying the live stream. David Dryden just excusing himself for a moment. Nature certainly doesn't stop the game's biggest props. So he's just gone downstairs. He'll be back in a moment or two. So we see the scrum here being formed with Walker in possession of the football, about to put it in here. So just on their own side of halfway. Next week, Western Suburbs tackle Curry at Harker Oval. The Bar TV sports game, no doubt, will be at Townsend Oval next Sunday when South Newcastle tackle the Macquarie Scorpions. Nice dumping tackle there from Chris Adams. Great to have Chris back into the game. And Tafua puts the shoulder into him and says, "Welcome back, Adams. Did you miss that? Did you miss that shoulder?" As Walker. Elias inside the 30. 28-point ball game here. Herman finding Keenan. Simon Williams picked up the first try of the afternoon. Still energetic. Still throwing the pill around. Keeping Lakes guessing as Stone wrapped up. 8 away. This is the last tackle. Walker after his second. And Walker. Ryan Walker has picked up his second try of the match. And the score just continues to blow out to 36 points to 4 over Lakes United.
The try to Western Suburbs was scored by Ryan Walker.
So Ryan Walker, that's his second try of the afternoon. Lakes United now trailing with a kick to come by 36 points to 4. And we've still got 16 minutes remaining here on Sunday afternoon football. So Newcastle Rugby League, we'd like to thank our new sponsor in the Business Plaza Cup. Tui's, of course, still the naming rights sponsor, the Tui's Cup. But we're throwing the Business Plaza in as well. So that's great to see that the revenue, no doubt, is going up. And Dave Dryden's back. And we've got a few of the players coming back onto the field. There's Shillings there. There's your mate in 13 about to come back out into the heat of the battle. There he is. Great shot there from our camera right down on the touchline, Dave. beautiful afternoon. Not a cloud in the sky. That's a moment.
Yeah.
That's not a moment. The kick's gone down.
That's a shame.
Could have been a goal if we were playing football here. Have you ever come and watched the football here, the soccer variety?
Yeah, mate. Used to be a soccer boy when I was younger. Used to play soccer, so I was always out here. It's pretty deceiving too when you're out here playing because they got all the lines out for the soccer. So there's 2 dead ball lines. But
hey, I've got a score update.
Yeah.
Adams boys, 20 all.
Ooh.
20 all with 20 minutes to go. 20 all with 20 to go. So there's not separating much of the rest of the field, is there? Western Suburbs,
no, it's not.
They're going well. We said that they're obviously going to be up there come the end of the year, but for the rest of the field, it's a week-to-week prospect.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, with your side, the Rosellas, I'm just going through it. I don't think you can get a stronger team apart from yourself in the starting front row. Dave?
Yeah, mate. Well, that's.
I mean,
you hit the nail on the head there, Pete.
It's pretty tough, isn't it, to get a crack in there?
Mate, it is.
What do you have to do to get in there?
Oh, mate, I don't know. It would have to be.
Hope for a bird to drop out of the sky.
Yeah, mate, it would have to be an injury now, this late in the season. But
are you hoping to get back onto the bench or something?
Oh, mate, if it was there, if the opportunity was there, I'd take it with both hands. But, mate, being out for over a month, it'd be pretty tough. But, mate, that's always the problem at West. You've always got a strong squad, and it's not just a strong 17 or 18. It's a strong 20. And yeah, mate. Oh, look, you're always inspired to be at the top level. But, yeah, it's always going to be hard at West.
So Adams is coming through here on Shillings. Hit him hard. That's nearly 8 weeks of intense build-up in that tackle.
That was Willis.
From Chris Adams on
Willis
Alatini. And it's great to see Kerrod Holland picking up the first try for the Bulldogs against the Newcastle Knights. Kerrod Holland has been able to score the first try for Canterbury. They lead.
Oh, was it early?
Yeah, 4-0.
Kerrod Holland.
After 4 minutes at Belmore.
Thank you. Thanks, Sportsbet.
First try of the afternoon down there, Kerrod Holland, and first try of the afternoon here came thanks to Simon Williams. So this is Matt Herman giving it out the back to Redmond, giving it away to Shillings. This time it was Chris Randall lining him up and put the framework into him. So Walker again. Finding Alatini inside the 20. Last tackle now. Richardson's on the opposite side to where they are. So they go themselves through Walker and he throws it to the touch judge. But he had the right idea.
He did. That was great vision from Walk. Showed a lot of class. Just the other boys weren't on the same page, but I was unlucky as a few Lakes fans are starting to walk out of the field, walk out of the stadium. They must not be happy.
Kerrod Holland has been able to convert his own try from the sideline. So the Bulldogs lead the Knights by 6 points to 0.
What about the rise of that bloke? 2 years ago he was playing with Cessnock. Now he's on the sting for the Bulldogs.
It has to be the quickest rise to fame ever.
Yeah.
And good luck to him.
Absolutely.
He's really played well to be where he is today for Canterbury.
Yeah, I think he signed another 2 years. I read a couple of weeks ago, I think. Yeah. Or he's on the verge of signing for another 2 years. Oh, he's had a look at Shillo, I think. Hey, he's been given a bit of stick to Shillo, and I think he might have seen him coming. That was funny.
It was a funny moment.
That might be our magic moment.
Have a look at this, Day. That could be the goof of the match. It's always hard out there in the heat of the battle. You don't know what's going on in the minds of the players, are you? Especially when you're down by 32 points against a red-hot Western Suburbs side running first on the competition ladder. So Walker again, finding the big number 8.
It's a bit unlucky too from Lakes. Like I don't think West have really put in a solid performance from the first minute to where we are now until today, and it showed by scoring a fair few points and only letting the one try in. So it's probably a bit unlucky from the young Lakes team.
And you've got to remember they've been hit with a cavalcade of injuries coming into this match.
Yeah, that's right. And then they got like a lot of young players too, and I'm sure all the workload would have tallied up a little bit.
No doubt. If you're a Lakes fan, there could be another chance to have a crack at Western Suburbs if they can manage to remain in the top 5.
There's no doubt that they won't, Pete. I think Lakes will go close to finishing it off. So you'll probably have West and Scorp, South. Not quite sure who else is there.
But battle between Lakes and South.
Yeah. But the top 5 will be pretty close, and I'm sure Lakes will be there. They've got a lot of youth, and
of course both of these sides met back in round 3 of the competition, and West's pumped Lakes that day as well by 46 points to 12. As we see the kick from Jay Sullivan. Going over there into the afternoon setting sun. And Alatini finds himself just short of his own 30-metre line as Mark Tafua comes off the field and Ryan Petro goes out to replace him. As Richardson tries to hit the gap at pace, that gap closed just as quick thanks to Joshua Hayes. Now they rampage through the middle of the field. Herman, he takes on Cody Robbins. Plays it back, 40 metres out. 36 points to 4. Elias straight through the gap. Away from Craig. Shut the gate, he scores. They've cracked 40. It's 40 to 4 with a kick to come.
Showed a lot of toe there, Jimmy.
He's quick.
Yeah, haven't seen too much of it all year. He's had some niggling injuries, but he definitely showed his speed there. Got on the outside of his man and was like the number 1 at Wentworth Park, heading for the post. Straight for the try line and got the biscuits.
Yeah. Mate, State of Origin on Wednesday night.
Go Queensland.
Live from Suncorp Stadium. There's still tickets available.
Is Josh and the boys sending us up, Pete? We're going up, aren't we? Bar TV live at Suncorp.
So. We might live stream the under-16s, the game before the match.
Yeah.
What do you reckon?
I reckon that's. I reckon that should be.
If we can't do it through the appropriate channels, we'll just take our iPhone and do it from the grandstand.
Yeah, I'm down with that.
We'll just take a few mics. What do you reckon?
Yep.
Might be a way to do it.
Easy.
Get a few people talking, wouldn't it?
100%.
Just like this. Trouble for Ryan Walker, Dave.
Oh, where is he?
Looks like he's on the screen at the moment.
Oh, he'd be just having an early
just
shower.
Having a bit of a massage to his ankle, though.
Yeah.
He just likes that Denka rub.
Yep. He's
on a brisk Sunday afternoon.
He's wrapped in cold cotton wool, old walks. Oh no. He'll be right. Doesn't seem to be in too much pain. A little bit. Might be just a concern. Get him off early. There's no point keeping him out there. Hopefully it's all good, all positive for him. One of the better players of the year.
So the kick's unsuccessful. As we come back to the close-up shot of Walker, the trainer's still out there.
The attempt at conversion from Santino was unsuccessful.
A little bit of concern there for his right.
Score remains of Western Suburbs 40,
right
Lakes
ankle.
United 4.
Trainer's just telling him to
have an early shower.
Yeah. Take the left boot off and A bit of a massage there, so hope everything's all right for Ryan Walker. 2 tries this afternoon for the Bird Gang. Round 11 of the Newcastle Rugby League. Speaking of another local Newcastle Rugby League product, I'm just getting words through from Belmore that Nathan Ross, former Curry Bulldog, has come up with a gutsy try saver on the line against Aidan Tolman, but the Bulldogs still remain in front by 6 points to 0. So
that's a big body on a little body, isn't it?
Yeah.
Aidan Tolman.
Yeah. So the former Newcastle Rugby League boys are doing well. Kerrod Holland and early on Nathan Rossi. Good stuff. Putting the Newcastle Rugby League on the map, where it's been for nearly 100 years. Don't forget, everybody, if you'd like to come along to our grand final, it's at Hunters Stadium on the last Saturday of September. 3 o'clock kickoff. Huge day of rugby league, always is. As Tupou charges up the middle of the park. Shillings hanging on around the ankles as Sullivan. Now they come to Matty Craig, featured on the wing a couple of years ago when Lakes were playing in the grand final at Hunters Stadium. So 10 metres away from the goal line. They come away from Boss to find Sullivan. On it comes to Kelly. Kelly's away. Kelly's through. And Jack Kelly's tackled about 5 out. But Burgess, last tackle. Robbins kicking. Chasing is the number 4 in Kennedy.
Is there a knock on first or... Oh, no, he's going to call it.
He's going to give a try. Well, I had the biggest post in the way there, but we're going to have a listen to the crowd, and they've said try.
Yeah.
And we're about to see the replay, and this post that no one can see will be able to come into it. How big's these posts?
In an awkward spot.
Don't you love a post in an awkward spot? Well, the camera wasn't in an awkward spot.
Yeah, it was a big bounce off someone's hand. I don't know whether Richo got there, Carl Richardson got to the ball, or the 4 obviously.
Richardson tried to
knock it out. On
debut too, Ben Hibbert, I think you'll find, got the try. The flying number 2.
Yeah, good on him.
Good on him.
That was on debut.
There's the trainer with him on the left, and there's Tom Taylor. The only solo musician midweek being a referee in our competition day.
Oh, Tommy Taylor.
Have you heard him sing?
Yeah, I've seen a few snippets on him on Facebook. And he's a movie critic as well. I see that all the time.
This man will not be able to blow his whistle, Tom, because it didn't go over.
He watches some poor movies, but I haven't seen a good one yet.
Say poor movies?
Poor movies, yeah. Get some good movies, Tommy.
Kylie Aylett and Tommy Aylett. Tommy, of course, in his first grand final last year, looking to be appointed second year as grand final referee come the last Saturday in September.
Must have been a few refs sick that day.
A few lining up for that prestigious position.
Do you reckon it gets political with the refs? Like for that number 1 gig?
I reckon there'd be a bit of...
Who do you reckon would be the number 1 ref now? So back, 4 or 5 years ago, maybe a bit longer, you had Gav West, Drew Outram, Taylor. Now we got the Tommy Taylor, the Taylor boys.
Taylor, son,
Stair,
father.
yeah.
Stair.
Or, Tommy Aylett.
Well, I think it's a changing of the guard.
Yeah.
A little bit, Dave. I think Tommy Aylett really opens the... he's a man on a mission. He loves his refereeing. He puts his heart and soul into it. And, I think that touches what Steve Kidd actually said in the paper today.
Yeah.
about that we need variety in country rugby league in the refereeing ranks, because each week, it doesn't matter if a ref has a bad game or a good game.
Maybe
they're
they
still
could
there.
join. Maybe they could join. Oh, this is a nice little passage of play
There's
from
a chance
Lakes.
here if they kick, they chase, they regain, and
yes,
come up
nice.
with an absolute stellar try that brings the locals to their feet. They've had to wait nearly 30 minutes before their first try of the day. Now they've got their second with 8 seconds remaining, and the crowd here, well, they'll go home with memories.
That was a nice try.
What else will they go home with that starts with M?
Well, mate, they could get the magic moment.
Correct.
2285 magic moment.
Moments and memories.
Yeah, moments and memories out at Carl Oval.
What
That was
dreams
a
are
good
made
play.
of.
There's a positive to end the game for the Lakes boys. It was a lot. The game was a lot. How can we say it, Pete?
Well, for the
Bit
first,
of a disappointment, wasn't it? Because the first 20 to 30 minutes was pretty high quality football, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, Lakes went with West for the first 20.
Yeah.
They had a lot of possession, didn't they?
Yep.
They just couldn't crack West, and credit to West, their defence was just
Yeah.
rock solid.
Yeah.
And then after that, the Rosellas just got a bit of possession and a few quick tries. The score blew out.
Yeah.
They had a dominant lead going into the break,
Right.
and they've just continued the second half with how they finished the first half. They've gone on to win by 40 points to 12 here after round 11 of the Business Plaza Cup. Well done to West. Final score, 40 to 12. Well, you're about to go downstairs.
Yeah, right. So we're going to try to get him outside or inside?
No, we'll go inside.
I'm going to go inside the
we
sheds.
we tested it last week, and we can actually walk into the sheds with them.
Yep.
So
Right.
I'll give you the mic and
I'll go get ready.
cause some havoc.
I'll put my makeup on.
Good stuff.
Oh,
Dave
no.
Dryden there doing great things here with our rugby league coverage here on Bar TV Sports, and it doesn't finish yet. Stay with us, folks. Dave Dryden is about to go inside the Rosella's sheds and cause a little bit of mischief with the Bird Gang. No doubt he'll be able to have a chat with Matt Lantry and, of course, his mate, one of his best mates, and don't they have a great association on camera, Dave Dryden and the Samoan in Mark Tafua. So there we go. It's all over here in the Newcastle Rugby League. Western Suburbs, will they continue their surge? They remain on top of the ladder. They've now played 10, they've won 9, and they've only lost one match all year, and that was way back in round 4 of the competition against the Macquarie Scorpions. So next week, we have the deferred weekend of Rugby League. That doesn't mean that there isn't any games to be played or streamed. There's 2 games to be played with 1 to be streamed, and the first match will be Western Suburbs versus the Curry Bulldogs, and the stream match will be on Sunday at Townsend Oval when South tackle the Macquarie Scorpions. So that will be our live stream game next Sunday at Townsend Oval. And South will be on the box. And I know that a lot of the South fans will be eagerly awaiting the return of Adam Bettridge to South that day. It's a spectacle in itself. And Adam